Hi, Gemini, and welcome to your reading for the first 2 weeks of September. So that's September 1st through to 15. We're doing the 12 card spread representing each house of your astrological wheel. So, Gemini, in your first house of identity, we don't do reversals. We have, Gemini, how positive.
Ooh,
You have got the Four of Cups in your first house.
Six of
So,
Cups.
oh, I'm so sorry.
It's the
I
mirror.
just went a
It's the
little.
mirrored
I just went a
camera.
little. I just went a little dyslexic there for a moment. Of course, it's the Cups,
No, it's
Gemini.
wonderful.
Um, beautiful, beautiful, so positive in your first house of identity. So what this tells us,
Yes.
Gemini, is that your identity is being turbocharged at the moment with a sense of playfulness.
Mm.
So this card's about the inner child. It's about a soulmate. It's about connection. It's about abundance. It's a really beautiful, positive card. You can see the tenderness and the intimacy between the woman and the child in the card. So your sense of self, Gemini, your identity that flavors. So the first card flavors the whole reading. Your identity, I would say, Gemini, is coming into its own. So maybe some healing around the inner child and getting into
Mm.
this beautiful, playful spirit, a lovely soulful connection with self, which would suggest that very, very likely that somebody's coming in for you, Gemini, or a
Mm.
deepening of your current relationship. Let's help
Yeah.
clarify there, Em.
Yeah. Oh, I've been shuffling this deck for a while and it's coming. We had this card like for the past two readings, the Four of Pentacles, and that talks about what are you holding on to and what do you need to let go. And it's a Pentacles, so it's about resourcing and what gives you that sense of stability and connection to yourself. So I'm wondering how that's connecting for you with that. It's like nostalgia that card, the Six of Cups, brings in, and a person who's coming in for you. Do you need to let them go, or do you need to cling tighter to them?
Really lovely. Let's
Mm.
see now. What do we have here for you? Oh, wow. So your second house, Gemini, you have an incredibly positive card. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is a card of enormous abundance, and you have it in your second house of how you resource yourself, how you create your wealth and abundance. So this would suggest to me that you are now entering a phase of abundance, which is happening, I would say, through a special skill. So she's surrounded
Mm.
by grapes, which represent a special skill that you may or may not be aware that you have. And there's an aspect of ease to this. So abundance
Mm.
coming through via something that you can do quite easily. So maybe start paying attention to your skills, your inner resources, your gifts, your abilities, because it's going to bring through some really quite serious abundance for you. What have you
Mm.
got there, Em?
Yeah. Oh, we've got the Ten of Swords. And do not be alarmed, as we like to say with the cards that seem alarming, because this card represents something you've been through. It was quite painful and very, like a lot of effort and work to get through. And now you're kind of laying there, but maybe you can see there's just this sign that the figure is making in their hand, which is the sign of the Hierophant. It's a blessing in disguise. So that card that came up in your second house, what are you resourced with? Something that comes with ease. Perhaps you can lean on that strength now at this time when you're feeling potentially quite exhausted and ready for that blessing to come through.
Lovely. In your third house, Gemini, which is your house, house of communication, you have, oh, lovely, Gemini, you've got the Page of Cups. So in your house
Oh,
of communication, the third house, it's also the house of ideas, of curiosity. We have a potential dream here. I think your potential dream landing in your third house of communication, it would suggest that your communication can bring this potential dream, wish, hope, desire. You can bring it through via your communication. So, how you communicate with yourself, how you communicate with others. It's also coming to me, Gemini, that this wish could have something to do with communication. So, whether it be writing, um, yes, something strongly indicated around communication for you and a dream being manifested via communication. What's
Mm.
our clarifier say
Yeah.
around this?
Oh, repeating card. So we've got the Six of Cups, which was in your first house. And that is saying the universe means what it said. Someone coming in from the past, maybe something connected to nostalgia, the inner child. How can you channel this kind of energy into the way you're communicating and make that dream come true? That's what we've got
Mm,
there.
really lovely. In your fourth house, Gemini, you've got the Hierophant. So the fourth house is about family, it's home, whatever family means to you, your chosen family. And sorry, you've got the High Priestess. I don't know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
just said.
I
You've
totally
got the
just saw
High
the Hierophant
Priestess.
in my, I don't know, that was strange.
Yeah, well, they kind of are divine counterparts. So with the High
Yeah.
Priestess, this is a card of um, really high intuition. So what this is saying in your house of family and all things familiar is that your intuition is going to serve you really well here. So pay attention to any inner messages that you're getting around family or your friendship family. Yeah, it also is a card of great abundance and stability. So the fourth house is very much foundational. So it tells me that you've got a really lovely, strong foundation. Really nice. What have you got there, Em?
Yeah. Oh, well, dropping the card. We've got Two of Wands, and that's representative of travel, exploration, new mindset, new perspectives. And he's literally got the world in his hands. You know, which way do I go with this to expand that higher thinking or higher mind in that house of four of the family or chosen family? Yeah, it's just broadening perspectives. Yeah.
Beautiful, Gemini. In your fifth house of creative expression, ruled by Leo, you have Gemini. Oh, interesting. You have the Knight of Swords. So our friend here, the Knight of Swords, there's a sense of urgency. The fifth house, creative expression. I think I think it's long overdue. You really want to tap into your creative energy. I have a sense that you want to shine your light, you want to get something out into the world. And it's wonderful that that's accompanied by this sense of urgency, like, let's take action. Occasionally, well, oftentimes, the Knight of Swords can be representative of too much haste. But I think because you have so many positive preceding cards, I think this suggests the time is now. You're taking action, shining your light out into the world. Creative expression, Gemini. Beautiful.
Mm.
And what's our clarifier there, Em?
Oh, we've got the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about sometimes choice paralysis, but it can also be where can you actually make a decision around this? And that being in the fifth house, you know, there can be so many ideas floating around for you, so much creativity, potential. And that potential can't come through until you land on a decision. And that indecision can sometimes even be the inspiration for those ideas. So take it as it resonates, Gemini. Either make a decision or stay floating in that world of potential.
Oh, really lovely. I like that, Em. So this one wanted to jump out at me massively. So this is the Five of Wands, Gemini.
Mm.
So this is the Five of Wands in your sixth house of work, of being of service, of choice, of health. Um, so this is teamwork. I'm getting strongly that teamwork in your workplace is really going to serve you, and it's going to be I think it might help you to break free into this, I think, new thought that wants to come through for you, Gemini, this new way of being. And with that is going to come great abundance. So I would reach out to others if you have been working in a little bit of a silo. Yeah, get into the teamwork and be interesting to see what you can build, Gemini. Really lovely. What
Mm.
have you got for
Yeah.
our clarifier, Em? Just going to pick up
Um,
my cards that did a dive.
I've got the Six of Swords, and that is leaving something for a potentially better place. I wonder what that's saying about your workplace, Gemini. But in that card, was it the Five of Wands? I just can't remember what you said. I can't remember what the card looks like,
Oh,
but
Knight of
it was
Swords, our rushy friend. Or
No,
the
just the
Five of
card just
Wands, the
then.
Five of Wands
Five of
we just
Wands.
had. Yeah.
Yeah, and it always reminds me of like people struggling to put a tent up and like everybody's trying to help out and it should just be one person's job and they're all fighting about it. And then there's also someone wearing polka dots in that card and usually that's an indication that things are too serious, like lighten up. Like it's okay to have a bit of fun. And I wonder if that's what this card is saying too, like time to leave behind that like heavy, serious energy and move into something potentially more enlivening. That's what I'm getting for that.
Fantastic. Wow, Gemini. Can I just say, wow, in your seventh house of
Oh,
relationships, you have the
oh.
ultimate. You have the Ten of Cups. So, cups are emotions, relationships. Seventh house is relationship. So, if you're single, beautiful relationship coming in for you, possibly marriage, deep commitment. If you're already in a relationship, I think you're going to discover new realms of happiness, appreciation, gratitude, really celebratory card there. And a card of, I think it's a card of a relationship that brings out the best in both of you. Everybody
Mm.
wins. What have you
Mm.
got for our clarifier there, Em?
Yeah, I wonder how the clarifier says. Oh, it's saying the five of wands, repeating card.
Ah,
Yeah, is there something?
cooperation.
I wonder about that. And yeah, maybe through this cooperation or a way of resolving conflict, there will be someone emerging for you that you can have a deep connection with. It's not doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Just can be regards to deeper intimacy, a sense of connection, and a sense of belonging. So yeah, I wonder how that connects to, was it the sixth house? House of service and the five of
Yeah.
wands. Yeah, yeah. So maybe something's happening at work. Trust that. If you're flirting with your boss, go for it.
Lovely. Really nice. So, always love a good workplace flirt. So, in the eighth house of transformation, you have the Ace of Wands. So, the Ace of Wands is new opportunity, new beginnings, really letting go of what doesn't serve you.
Mm,
Um, Really exciting. So, in your eighth house of transformation, shared resources, I would say there's some sort of offer coming in for you. So
mm,
the Ace of Wands is radically about new beginnings if you want it. If you want to take that offer, there's a new way of being for you. Really lovely, really, and
mm,
also a new way of being. So eighth house is also intimacy as well as shared resources. So perhaps a new way of you showing up around intimacy, maybe risking a little more. But
mm.
this suggests just newness, anything old, anything that doesn't serve you, completely falling away. Really nice.
Yeah,
And what have you got
cool.
there, Em?
Yeah, how do you manifest this? No way. What?
Oh, what?
It's the ace of
Oh
wands.
my God.
That's so, I love when that happens. So it's really telling you this is
Wow.
definitely it. We don't know where it's going to come from, but it's going to be an offer coming through really strongly. And the universe is telling you to listen and perhaps take it on. And what house was that in? Transformation. So this is going to be
Mm,
deeply, deeply important for you. Wonderful.
how exciting. So in your ninth house, you have the Three of Pentacles.
Ah,
So
cool.
your ninth house, ruled by Jupiter, is expansion. I'll show you again. Is expansion, is higher mind, higher learning, it's travel, all things Jupiter. It's luck, it's abundance.
Mm,
Jupiter is called the beneficent planet. So watch what you're expanding into is all I would say around Jupiter, which is overwhelmingly positive because it is expansion, but you just have to watch what you're expanding into. So it could be travel on the cards, but boom for you. Travel, study. You could be studying something new. It also suggests the work that you're doing is going to expand. So this is a work of great achievement and quality, and it's getting attention. So
mm,
I think that you're going to expand via the beautiful quality work that you're doing that's getting noticed. So
mm.
yeah, lovely expansion coming through for you there in the ninth house. What have you got, Em?
Cool. All right, we've got the Queen of Swords. And like as we're just doing this, and I don't know how this is related, what's coming to me is remember the third house. And there was something coming to you, Fran, about writing. Is that right? Was that in the third
Yeah,
house? Or is that a
anything to
different
do with
reading?
communication. I think it was this
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, anything to do with
Let's watch it back later.
communication.
Right. And
Yeah.
so the Queen of Swords is about like stepping forward and being open to an offer, but also kind of staying cautious with the sword up and ready. Swords up means ready for action, ready to step into that, whatever it is. And it's kind of sitting in that space of this is going to lead to that expansion. And maybe it's still connected to that previous house around the Ace of Wands and some really big offer coming through for you, Gemini. Mm.
Wow, lovely. Let's see what your 10th house of career has in store. Don't freak out, Gemini. It is the Tower. This just
Ooh.
means, given everything in your reading thus far, this suggests positive change. So, positive change in your career. So, it might mean that you're
Mm.
changing careers, or it could mean that however you might feel stymied in your career, you're busting out of that. So you might be reinventing your role, but there's really positive change in your career section.
Mm. Hmm.
And I think, judging by all of the cards that have come through to you for you, this change is bringing through creativity and abundance. I think two
Mm.
sides of the same coin for you. Abundance is related to your creativity, and your creativity is related to your abundance. So, looking good for your career there, Gemini.
Yeah, let's see how that's actually coming through. Wow, so the Fool card, and this is the very first card of the whole deck. And it's about stepping out and taking a chance. The Fool has a little bag on his back, that represents the wisdom that he's gained through stepping through the cycle of all the tarot, the major arcana in the past already. So he's not coming completely naive. He's got the wisdom of taking a risk. And that comes through with is it the 10th house that we're looking at? How is that going to lead to abundance for you, Gemini? Time to
Mm.
take a leap and go for that offer. I wonder what it is. I want to know.
Yeah, so exciting. So
Mm.
in your 11th house, Gemini, you have the Seven of Cups. So the 11th house is your house of hopes and wishes, of groups, of friendships. So this would suggest this is positive, even though it looks a little melancholy. This is you walking away from what no longer serves you. So whether that be, letting go of friendships that might be holding you back, letting go of old wishes and replacing them with new visions for yourself that are perhaps greater in abundance and greater in vision and maybe more grounded in reality, but really positive. This is a card that indicates you're making really good choices, Gemini, and that will allow abundance to come through to you and opportunities. What have you got there, Em?
Nice. Okay. Oh, we've got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about being tactical. In this card, it can look like he's being sneaky and stealing things, but he's actually making sure the enemy doesn't have all of their arsenal ready to go when they fire back at him. So you're making sure that you have an upper hand, not in a sneaky way, but just in a sense that you're tapping into your resources and your strengths that you already have with you. So yeah, looking forward into maybe also it's about your relationships at work or at home, and you're feeling like how do you actually disarm the those that may hold jealousy for you or try to bring you down in some way? How can you bring kindness, compassion, or understanding to those situations, or even just neutrality, so that they don't have anything to weaponize against you in return? That's what I'm getting with this card.
I love that, Em. Nothing like disarming jealousy or any negative quality with kindness, compassion,
Mm.
understanding. Really lovely. So for your final house, Gemini, your
Oh.
12th house, you have
Mm.
Justice card. So this is showing up in your 12th house of spirituality. So
Mm.
this is telling us that the deeper aspects of you, the deep spiritual aspects of you, ruled by Neptune. So Neptune is around illusion. So it can play out negatively as illusion, it can play out positively as illumination. So, in order for you to get the best out of the 12th house, you need to come back to your sense of justice, and that will support the whole reading. What have
Mm.
you got there, Em?
Yeah, I'm going to pull the clarifier, but I'm also really getting a strong sense of if you ever wanted to be a lawyer, maybe go for it. That's what I'm getting coming through. If you wanted to do something with
Mm.
law or the social system, social justice, yeah, it's feeling like that's really important for some reason in this reading. And we've got the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is you've been following along in this particular path and you're looking over your shoulder and you hear the whisper of promise of something different. And you're feeling curious about the other side, grass is greener syndrome, but maybe it could be it's time for that change. So there's an offer coming in. It's telling you be tactful, think about your role in social justice. And yeah, I'm just looking over the clarifiers that I've got in front of me, a blessing coming through, so much positivity. So, what is it that the next couple of weeks are going to bring for you in terms of a new perspective or something different that you've been hoping for? Yeah, it looks
Lovely. And,
interesting.
and with that card, I get very strongly stay curious. That's going to allow you to be
Mm,
open to all possibilities and receive the abundance and the blessings and the gifts in all of the
mm.
possibilities that are on their way to you. So, really fantastic reading, Gemini. Enjoy.
Thanks.